I don't know. What can I possibly say? What can I possibly say about that performance that is going to make anyone, including myself, feel any better? Nothing. Not a word. Because the reality is, that was the worst performance that I've seen for a long time. It's worse than Norwich, it's worse than Brighton, it's worse than Chelsea. And what makes it worse is the total, absolutely total lack of any kind of endeavour, attitude, aggression, dare I say it, care. It's almost like they couldn't give a flying. That's how it feels. Now, I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure those guys will go away and reflect and think, I did my best and I worked hard and all the rest of it. Bad day at the office and all that. But the reality is, that's not the case. The performance was shambolic. Absolutely pathetic. There is no way you can call out any player for any sort of effort at all. For me, it was just a joke. I sat there watching it in pure disbelief. In fact, at half time, I tweeted that I've got no words. And to be honest with you, a day later, I've still not really got any words. Not any words that really mean anything, apart from display my absolute displeasure at what I'm being served up with. And this isn't what I want to do. I don't want to sit here ranting and moaning and all the rest of it. I like to try to be positive. I like to try to talk about perspective and different things that happened in a game that might have made the difference. But I'm really, really, really struggling to find anything from that game. I mean, Southampton offered pretty much nothing in that game in terms of attacking intent. They scored the one goal, which was a great goal, very Gaza-esque, but apart from that, they didn't have to do anything else. They didn't really have to trouble the keeper. They didn't really have to challenge and everything. But Southampton were first to every single ball. They didn't give up nothing. They chased it down. They put the aggression in. They challenged our players who played like prima donnas. Don't touch me, I'm going to fall over. I mean, Dele Alli, for the resurgence that the guy has had, he spent more time on the deck than he did on his feet, trying little flicks and party tricks, which is fantastic when you're winning and fantastic for the fans when it comes off. But when it don't come off, you just look like a complete knob, because you're getting beaten by the endeavour of a team that are scrapping, that want it, that want to win that game to get themselves out of relegation trouble. They put the effort in to actually achieve something. This team are not doing that. They didn't do it under Pochettino, and now we've had our managerial bump, they're not doing it for Mourinho either. Now, we can all call out this player's not good enough, that player's not good enough, and all the rest of it. But forget that. This is a Premier League match, okay? And I don't care who you are. All of those players in that team are good enough to play in most other Premier League teams. So these are Premier League footballers who have ability, who have class, that play for their international countries, who basically just didn't bother to turn up. They didn't bother to take their boots, to take their shoes off and put their boots on and go out there and actually earn their money. It was, absolutely appalling. And, there's no other words for it. What else can you say? I mean, Gazaniga, I'm not being funny, but when you're seeing your defender getting turned, don't just stand there like a lemon get your arse out there and get in front of him. Get your arms in the air. You know, get in his face. At least make some kind of move to put the guy off, rather than just standing there and watching it go beyond you. It ain't like you didn't have any time. You could see what happened. He's right in front of you. What are you doing? You know, it just beggars belief. Ndombele, you know, I have to say, he looked absolute class right at the start of that game. They couldn't get the ball off him. You know, they were pulling at him and everything. They couldn't get the ball off him. He takes a little knock off of the other fella. I can't think what his name is, Jananga or something along those lines. He takes a bit of a dead leg and he turns into a digestive biscuit. Crumbles. What the what? You got your hair shaved like you're an hard man, but you're made of digestive biscuit, mate. That's not on. That is not what we're doing. You know, you're supposed to be in there to drive the team forward. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You've got one of the best managers in the world managing you guys, and yet you cannot motivate yourselves or get motivated enough to take on a team at the bottom of the league. What is that about? You know, this is absolutely pathetic form, and there is no other way to describe it. And I am not a ranting fan. That is not me. I don't want to sit there moaning about the performance and slagging off players and slagging off the team. You know, that's not what I want to do. But it's just the way it's making me feel today, and I just don't know what else to say. I really don't. I don't believe that there was any bright spark in that game at all. We've now lost Ndombele with an injury. We've also lost Harry Kane with an injury, who, to be fair to him, did nothing either. You know, he didn't really get into the game. The service to him was poor, you know, but he got nowhere. You know, the only chance he had, he injured himself from an offside position. And, you know, it's just diabolical, absolutely diabolical. So now we go into a game against Middlesbrough, all the way up there. Are they going to be up for that? Are they? Who knows? But if they ain't, then where do we go from here? Because following that, we've got the league leaders Liverpool to come to White Hart Lane. I mean, what a great game that's going to be. You know, if these guys cannot get their heads out their arses and start to believe that they are there to do a job and to play professional football, then I'm sorry, but this is going to be an even longer second half to this season than the first half was. And we can blame Daniel Levy as much as we want about him not backing the managers and not paying top dollar and not buying, you know, top quality players and that as much as you like. But at the end of the day, the players you buy still have to do the job on the pitch. And whether they're good enough or not is immaterial. Those guys have got to do their job. And you can put it down to a bad day at the office once, twice. You can put down a bad period a couple of months. But you cannot continue to turn in performances like this week in, week out and expect to still be at the top of the league, challenging for top 4 as a minimum. That should be a minimum target, not a be-all and end-all target, in my opinion. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to sign off as a very disgruntled, unhappy, miserable South Dorset Spurs supporting Lee. And I don't know what else to say to you. Apologies that this isn't a happy video. Apologies that this isn't giving any kind of perspective. It's just how I feel today. And if I'd have done the video yesterday, then it would have been even worse. So, at the end of the day, am I going to still support the team? Of course I am. Am I still going to be going to the Liverpool game? Of course I am. You know, and I'll be there through thick and thin supporting the team. But sometimes you have to say it as it is. and as it is for yesterday, was appalling. If you see me around, come and say hello. Up the Spurs.